Welcome, welcome. Just getting set up here. Hey, good morning, Greg. Good morning, Steve. Welcome, welcome. All right. Let's get started. All right. Cool. Let's give people one more minute to jump in. How are things on the East Coast in the Midwest?
Doing good.
Not bad here.
Yeah, is it snowing there?
No, it's just cloudy today. It's been a little bit warmer. Stuff's been melting off.
Oh, okay.
But I say a little bit warmer, upper 30s. So
Rough. And we got up to the 60s today, so that's pretty cool.
Nice. Excellent. Where are you again, Steve? Pittsburgh?
Philly.
All right. Well, we'll just get started. I like to try to give you guys as much time as possible.
we appreciate that.
All right. Nylon guitar. So create a fresh production around the guitar loop and implement the percussion and vocal sample somehow into it. The only restriction is this is supposed to say you cannot.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like much of a limitation.
Wow.
You can only add drums. That would be something.
Right. Let me just fix that real quick. You cannot add drums to this. You can add percussive things, but they can't be drums.
Yeah.
So let's see if that fixed it. Yeah. All right. So the samples are. That just repeats. So this is some kind of like clock noise or something like that. Who knows what that is?
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension.
And there's your vocal sample. So weird stuff. I guess work on creating a groove. If you want to break up the guitar into different chords, you can. But you got to somehow implement that guitar loop and percussion and vocal sample into it. Any questions? Your wheels are turning already. All right, go get them, and I'll see you back at the top of the hour. All right, sounds good. Hey, Jerome, I just saw that you were trying to get in. We just talked about the thing. It was just jump over to the On the Hook game, and it's very self-explanatory. There's some percussion sounds, but you can't use drums in this one. You're supposed to just use the percussive sounds, and you can add more percussive sounds, but just stay away from drum sets on this.
Okay. Am I the only one here?
No, they already left. They already got started.
Oh, how did that happen?
Well, they came on right at 11, and we just didn't have any. I didn't know anybody else was coming on. I didn't see you were in the waiting room for some reason until the last minute.
I was right there. I've been here for about 8 minutes.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see it for some reason, but yeah, just use this guitar and then this percussive type loop. And then this.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension.
And just try to create something without using drums.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. See you in a bit.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'll see you at the top of the end. Bye. All right. All right, guys. Anybody watching? I'm going to get started here. I've already got this in my DAW. I've got the guitar loop, the percussive type sound, and the vocals here. I like to put my vocals in pink. I just do. First thing I want to do is try to line up the guitar with the, now I happen, because this is not always the case, the sample I pulled from Splice has the BPM in it. It's 73. So what I'm going to do is hit warp and change my, set this to 73. And what that will do is then make it so that as I move the BPM around on the track itself, the guitar stays in line with it. I'm going to do the same thing with the percussive sound. I'm going to warp it and tell it needs to be at 86. And if you didn't know this, I could just zoom in and just line it up. And it's actually not too hard to do. It takes just a couple seconds, but you can see it lines up immediately once I get close to 86. So now if we just play those two together, now I'm at 121. So we're going to back this down to. Okay, and then I'm going to turn these down. I like to put them down to about -5, and it sounds like the percussion might be turned down even more. And if I didn't know what key this guitar was in, I would just drop a piano in. And so I would just do that by grabbing a piano, dropping it in, and so it's a D sharp minor. And this percussion loop has a lot of very high-end samples to it. And I want to see if I can't break this into a drum set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right-click it and slice to new MIDI drums, convert drums to new MIDI track. So I don't know what this is going to do, but we're going to check it out. And no, I don't want that. That's not what I was looking for. Convert slice to new MIDI. I don't know what that does. Let's see what that will do. Okay, so it took all the little samples and it made like different and so I can use this now as a drum rack. So it made little slices and made it over all the notes. So I'm going to take these out, and now I'm going to create my own percussion out of that. And we're going to do this by turning on the sound. And we'll do this. Just put it over 4 bars. And then I'm going to combine this and loop it. And so I'm going to put it over this whole thing, and we're going to loop this whole track. And now we're going to I'm just kind of playing around, making a percussion track out of this. What if I did this and actually made it into like little hi-hats and like this? Yeah, that's cool. Cool. And I'm going to look for guitar effects. I want to see some like where people kind of hit the guitar because I want to kick, but I don't want to use a drum set. So to do that, let's do one shots. Let's do effects and that's probably the closest I'm going to find right now. So I'm going to just use that. And I'm going to create a new drum track. And I'm going to use a drum rack to do this. So right off the bat, what we'll do is I'm going to hit this in here. We're going to create a drum rack. So to do that, drums, drum rack, we're going to drop it in here. And then we're going to drop this sample in here. That's not a very good thud. No, guitar knock, maybe? Thud? No. What would I look up for that? Guitar wood hit? Guitar wood hit? No. Acoustic guitar effect. Let's see. I'm definitely going to grab this one here. We're going to drop it in here. Is that what I have here? This drum rack. Okay, I'm going to grab that, put it here, go back to my drum rack, and we're going to drop it right here. Drop this here and drop this here. And now that's about as good as I can get it. And we are going to get rid of this, and we're going to do, nope. All right. All right, and we're gonna quantize the shit out of that. So we're going to do that by 16ths. Maybe slap. cool. I kind of like that. I'm going to drop in a Omnisphere now. And Omnisphere is up here. I'm going to drop this in. And I'm going to make a So I'm trying to figure out how to play this, and I like 1, 2, 3. I like playing in the key that I'm really familiar with, which is C minor. So I think it's up there. That was cool. Okay, and I just see what I did on that.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing, when you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. You will grow beyond the tension. You will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not, when you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing.
Okay, I'm going to drop a vocal on here. And I have no idea what I'm going to do in here.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing,
I got to add some.
when you trust the not knowing, when you trust the not knowing, when you trust the not knowing,
All right, so let's take this.
when you trust the not knowing, 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 you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension.
It's so badass. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to use this as a sampler. What if we did this? Convert melody to drums. I think I just want to take a sampler. I think I want a sampler. I want to drop it here. And I want to create when you trust when
you trust when you trust the not know, when you trust your own attention, when you
So I could do that. But how do I do that?
when you try when you will
So I want to
when you trust when you trust when you trust when you trust when you trust
so this is just me playing around.
When you trust when you
And
when you trust when
and
when you trust 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 when you when when you trust. When you trust. When you trust.
All right, so I think what I'm going to do is just I'm going to duplicate this, turn one of these off, freeze it, flatten it. And then I'm going to use this as I'm going to drop in vocal processing rack on this. And I'm going to use the pitch.
When you trust. 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 When you trust the not knowing. When you trust. When you trust. When you trust the not knowing.
lot of reverb.
When you trust them. When you trust them. When you trust them not knowing, you'll grow beyond attention. When you trust them. 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 When you trust them not knowing. When you trust them. 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 When you trust them not knowing, you'll grow beyond attention. When you trust them not knowing, you'll grow beyond attention. When you trust them not knowing, you'll grow beyond attention. When you trust them. When you trust them. When you trust them not knowing, you'll grow beyond attention. When you trust them not knowing.
Okay, now I'm just adding.
trust them, when you trust them, when you when you trust them, when you trust them, when you trust them. When you trust them, when you trust them, when you when you trust them, when you trust them, when you trust them not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust them not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust them, when you trust them,
So I just added the mastering to it.
when you trust them, when you trust them, when you trust them, when you trust them, when you trust them not knowing, when you trust them not knowing. When you trust them not knowing, when you trust them not, when you trust them not knowing, when you trust them not knowing, you, when you trust them not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust them not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust, when you trust, when you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension.
Well, that's as good as I got. I've got to get on. I've got to render this shit and get on the call. So. All right. That was fun. Okay, I'm going to submit my thingy. I'm the first. Hope this works.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension. When you trust, when you trust, when you trust the not knowing.
All right. Good enough for now. Where my people at? All righty then. Where my people at? It's 12. What's up?
Rendering. Kind of close on this one.
Yeah. Did you have fun?
Yeah. Spent too much time on too many different fun ideas and ran out of time. Kind of the same as last time, where I had time to get a bunch of ideas in, but then ran out of time to actually do like transitions and ending, anything like that. So
Oh yeah.
how'd it go for you?
It was good. It's fun. I found a lot of areas that I need to work on that just sort of bottlenecks in my process.
Hmm.
So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, similarly, I was reminded again that I got to get some of my presets a little more organized. Just like I think I need to just make a separate kind of external list of some of my favorite stuff across different VSTs, because the way the favorites organized kind of within each thing separately, I end up kind of not remembering what my starting point is supposed to be, you know?
Yeah. All right. I see Jerome's uploaded. Jerome, are you on video today or just audio?
Yeah, I'm here. Hang on. There we go.
All right.
Sorry, I'm in the process of setting up another session so I can listen to the speakers.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Like
Well,
music when I can actually hear it.
say that again.
I like listening to music when I can actually hear the music instead of
That would
through
be
the laptop.
nice. Cool. All right. Steve's back, I think. All right. We'll start with yours, Greg, because you were first in here. And just gonna refresh my screen. Here we go.
When you trust attention, you will grow beyond knowing. When you trust attention, you will grow beyond knowing.
Sweet, man. Cool. Where did you get the sort of sub bass hits?
Well, that's a vocal sample.
Oh, is it?
It's me doing into the mic. So capturing that.
That's awesome. Cool. And then it almost sounded like you had like this sort of.
Yep, some falsetto stuff in there. That's also me.
Oh, really? That was
Yep.
cool. I liked it.
I had to push it way to the back and reverb it out so you can't hear how out of tune the two parts are with each other. But you know,
Well, I think it worked. I almost wanted to hear more of that, you know.
if I had time to melodyne it, it would have been worth hearing more of it. But
Tell us your process about how you kind of walk through it.
I was kind of all over the place with this one because I didn't come into it with a lot of ideas as such. I knew I wanted to rearrange the vocal, just change it. So I kind of flipped what she says. So it's trust the tension instead of trust the knowing. And so I spent a lot of time just kind of playing with that, and then had an idea for a bass line that I couldn't find the right patch for, and then ran across this bass patch and thought, you know, I'll use that instead. So it was just it was a really scattershot one for me.
Okay.
But it was fun.
It's fun though. Awesome. Well, good. Did you use which DAW were you in?
This was entirely in Bitwig.
Bitwig. Okay. Are you leaning more toward that now?
I'm trying to, but the biggest problem with it is no ARA support. Reaper has ARA support. So for anything I want to use Melodyne with, I don't like having to go back and forth between a DAW and Melodyne with, you know, re-rendering waves and all that. So yeah, the other thing that Reaper does a great job of is routing. It's infinitely flexible routing. So that is where I prefer to do my actual mixing. But I try to use Bitwig as much as possible for these because it is where I do most of my kind of producing and, you know, initial idea getting down and all that. So
yeah. Cool. That sounded great.
Thanks.
All right, Jerome, you're up, man.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond attention.
Oh yeah, that was so tasty. Well done, sir. What did you use for that little voice at the very end? Sorry, we can't hear you. I muted everybody. Let's see. Let's get you unmuted here.
So sorry about that.
No problem. I had muted you because
Anyway, yeah, it's one of my like 200,000 some odd sample files that I've got in my collection. It's
wow.
but one thing I did when I started collecting samples, I started copying a whole bunch of most of the vocal samples into a separate vocal folder. So I'm looking for a vocal I can at least dig into that without having to go into every other folder that I've got. So I was able to do that. I did use my new toy, my Cheat Scalar 2. I used it to create the chords, the background chords, and then used it to create a bass line.
Oh wow.
And then edited the bass line MIDI a little bit.
What is it called?
We're just a tack on at the end. I was going to do more with them, but it ran out of time.
Yeah.
But and then I tried to, after getting the sample of the percussion in Ableton, I tried to double time it. It said it didn't have enough BPM left or something, so I had to re-record it on a separate channel and then double time it, and that worked. And then I took the acoustic guitar sample and I did a melody to MIDI in Ableton and used that to throw on the extra acoustic and the electric piano. But I was hoping for something a little better than it came out.
Oh, it's really good. I love the reverb you also put on the main guitar loop. It's beautiful. And I like that you split time the talking vocal and made it really slow. And that was a cool choice.
And so as far as the reverbs, one thing that I really am happy I decided to do long ago is I've got 4 sends that are in my default Ableton set that I bring up for new compositions. I've got a slapback delay that's just a really short one that's just I use for space.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got sunset sound reverb on a plate and another reverb on a plate that's a little bit different. And I've got this I call it a vocal reverb, but it's a long setup with it's got a delay on the front of it, so that the reverb doesn't kick in until after the initial hit goes. And then after that, it's got the isotope. What's the widener called?
Are you thinking of the imager?
Yeah, the ozone, or yeah, the ozone imager at the end of that rack.
Oh, interesting. Well, it sounded really good.
So that's pretty cool. But I have all those set up on 4 return tracks on everything when I first start composing. So I only have to go after reverb. I'm looking for something special for a particular track.
Mm-hmm.
It works pretty well all the way around.
That's great. Nice and keep it simple. Cool, man. It sounded great. Did you enjoy this one?
Yeah, it was fun. They're always fun. It's just stressful, but
Good. Awesome, man. Thanks. All right, Steve, let's check it out.
trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension.
Oh, cool. I love that little reverse reverb thing you get there at the end.
I was
Uh,
just stretching it.
oh, was it?
That was just, I just pulled it as far as I could. It's like, it sounds cool. All right.
It does sound cool. So how did you come up with that the guitar riff? Did you just take one little
I took the very beginning of it and just, I don't know. I've been in a like 6/8 kick lately. So I sort of just like shifted it to make that work. And I shifted the percussive thing to also be in 6, which again, takes some time, but I've done it a lot. And it's fun. So, but that was like the first 10-ish minutes was just like getting that locked in. And then, yeah, I put like a little bass line on, and then I have like guitar patches that I added onto it. So yeah, it's like I started with basically just like a big stack of layers, and it's like, oh shoot, I got like 10 minutes left. I mean, just like, whoosh. So I pulled it out, and I didn't mix anything. So like I would make different choices had I had like another hour to, where things would come in, how they would like be, how long it would take for certain things to come in, how like the groove would sort of shift over time. But in just a little bit that I had, I was pretty proud of that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's cool. I love that it was in 6/8. I love the snare you used as a sort of a percussive, just riding on those accents.
I have this African drum kit that's part of Contact, like West African drums. It's like, well, I can't use drums, but I can use drums.
Yeah, we'll let you get away.
Yeah, they're all like hand percussion kind of things. So I just sort of played around with where they would go and using sort of more traditional West African rhythms on top of that, because like a lot of African rhythms are in 6. So it's kind of fun to like layer different drum sounds, but like having their own like individual beat on top of that.
Yeah, because the accent, complement, or just little beats, little eighth notes or whatever between the actual pulse of the notes of the guitar, and it really creates a really wonderful juxtaposition of rhythm, and it's really cool. And it's it was amazing.
Thank you.
Where's your saxophone on this one?
I mean, I thought about it. I really did. I was like, I could, but then I won't get to arrange it at all, and it's going to be like a 10-second clip.
No, I'm just playing.
I know. I've done stuff like that with saxophone, where it's just like sort of like loosely layered, or like different saxophones will have one loop and then a different rhythmic loop on top of that. And
oh yeah,
that's always fun. I love doing that, but not today.
Yeah, not today. Well, cool, man. That was amazing. I hope you continue to develop that out. And
yeah, are these which samples of the games are like cool to use and which need some type of permission? Or are they all from Slice?
they're all from Splice mostly.
Splice,
Yeah. So, but that you have manipulated that to such a degree that I don't think it would ever raise a copyright,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's totally unidentifiable in my opinion, except for the voice. The voice
Right.
we have to change up, but yeah, you could get somebody else to say something very similar and maybe change a word or two and just record somebody else talking, and you'd have virtually the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of these I'm kind of saving off as maybe ideas for a little album or something like that to use, but I'm going to go back and take out some of those samples and stuff if I ever do that. I think that's wise, because otherwise you're going to get strikes against other people that use that same sample,
Right.
That's awesome, man. Well done.
Nice.
Cool. All right, I will show you mine.
When you trust the not knowing, you will grow beyond the tension.
Didn't have time to come up with an ending, so it just ends the loop. One of the things I did is I took the percussion and I split it out into all the split it out by transients. So Ableton has a way of taking it and creating just, tons of sounds, so you can run up your keyboard and find a. So I used that and found a way to kind of make it into a hi-hat sound, so that when the beat comes in, or this part of it here.
When you trust the not knowing.
So you get that, and then I used I found for the drum beat, I actually found slaps on a guitar that I use. So I just used that and kind of EQ'd it out to kind of make a kick sound, and then a slap for a snare. So it's using sort of percussive sounds to make a beat, because I wanted a groove. And then I just played around with shit, use some pizzicato, use some bass. It just was kind of all over the place, but it was fun. I didn't really have an exact objective in mind. I just let it kind of take me, which I think is something you don't get to do very often as a producer. Just let it take you and not have any constraints. So,
No, it was a good job.
thank you. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Next week we've got the game is I'll just show you a sneak preview. Okay. It's a church choir. So it's got a cool choir sound that we're going to use. So that's your sneak peek for next week. Well, thanks guys for joining me, and let me know if I can do anything for you, and I will see you next week. Anybody have any final thoughts? All right. Good luck. Continue producing. See you next week.